Hello friends, once again, welcome back to your favorite channel, Cinema Update, the place where you get the biggest and fastest news from the world of your favorite movies and series. Today we're taking you on a dangerous journey, one that might just make you forget to breathe, a story that could turn your dreams into nightmares. Because this is the story of a new species that has become the most powerful life form on Earth after humans. They don't just possess raw strength, they have the terrifying ability to control the human mind. And the scariest part? They look like ordinary insects. But inside, they hide the soul of a monster. Yes, friends. Today we're talking about the upcoming Hollywood blockbuster, TheInsect, directed by the mastermind of science fiction, Denis Villeneuve, and featuring a star cast so powerful that just hearing the names will make you want to book your tickets right away. The film opens in a quiet little town called Elderville, where life moves at a slow, predictable rhythm. Children prepare for school. Shopkeepers roll up their shutters. People sip coffee while reading their newspapers. But when the camera slowly pans to the edge of town, towards an old farmland, something strange is happening. The soil is trembling on its own. Beneath the earth, a faint rustling sound echoes, as if an enormous army is marching underground. Farmer Sam, a man who has never stepped outside Elderville in his entire life, walks over to investigate. As he bends down to touch the soil, a sudden movement startles him. From beneath the ground, a thick, black, snake-like insect bursts out. Its eyes glow a menacing green, and from its mouth drips a thin, acidic saliva that hisses on contact with the earth, turning it instantly into smoke. The look of terror on Sam's face is enough to tell anyone something terrible is about to happen. The screen suddenly cuts to black, and a blood-curdling scream shatters the silence. The next morning, police find only Sam's torn shirt and a blood-stained hat in the field. Townsfolk assume it's the work of a wild animal, but local journalist Anna Parker, played by Margot Robbie, suspects something far stranger. With her camera in hand, she arrives at the farm and notices bizarre spiral patterns carved into the soil, like an intricate map of winding roads. Enter John Miller, Chris Hemsworth, an introverted but brilliant entomologist who specializes in insect species and their behavioral patterns. The police bring him in to investigate the strange occurrence. John takes a soil sample back to his lab and discovers something chilling. It contains a protein that makes any organism immune to modern poisons, fire, or extreme cold. In other words, if these creatures spread into the open world, wiping them out would be nearly impossible. Then we meet Jack, Pedro Pascal, a former soldier who lost his entire unit during a classified mission. Now drowning his pain in alcohol, Jack tries to stay away from danger, but when he learns Elderville is under threat, his instincts force him back into the fight. We're also introduced to Dr. Laura Stone, Zendaya, a genetic engineer who has worked on organisms capable of surviving in extreme environments. She reveals a horrifying truth. These insects aren't a result of natural evolution, but rather a failed military experiment that spiraled out of control. Her research shows that their minds are linked through a neural hive network, all controlled by a single organism, the queen insect. Destroy her, and the entire swarm will collapse. The first major horror sequence strikes when Elderville's main square is packed with people. Anna is reporting live on camera when the ground beneath a nearby sewer suddenly bursts open. Dozens of massive insects pour out, attacking anyone in sight. In close-up shots, we see their legs lined with razor-sharp barbs that tear through human skin, injecting venom that paralyzes their victims instantly. John and Jack rush to the scene, managing to save many, but several townspeople are left motionless, their bodies locked in venom-induced paralysis. The team realizes their only hope is to find the queen. To do that, they must enter Elderville's abandoned underground tunnel network, sealed off for decades. In one gripping scene, the four of them descend into the darkness with flashlights, finding thousands of eggs clinging to the tunnel walls, each one twitching faintly. Suddenly, a sinister rustle echoes from behind them. 5 or 6 large insects rush forward. Jack unloads his shotgun. John blasts them with a flamethrower, and Laura tries to inject one with a serum to capture it alive for research. The background score in this moment is so intense that audiences will grip their seats in pure tension. Finally, they reach the Queen's lair, deep in the tunnels. The air is humid and suffocating, the heat almost unbearable. Slowly, from the shadows, the Queen emerges, 50 feet long, her body plated with thick armor, green venom dripping from her mandibles, her red eyes glowing like molten lava. She spreads her massive wings and lets out a roar so powerful that dust showers down from the tunnel ceiling. Then begins the film's most epic action sequence. Flamethrowers, explosives, collapsing tunnels. But the Queen suddenly bursts upward, flying towards the surface. The battle spills into the heart of Elderville. Helicopters, tanks, and hundreds of soldiers join the fight. In a massive explosion, the Queen is finally destroyed. But just when it seems over, the film delivers one last chilling twist. Inside a lab, a single insect egg starts to move. The screen fades to black, promising a sequel. From a production standpoint, The Insect is a massive undertaking. With a budget of around $180 million, a huge chunk has been poured into VFX to bring these nightmarish creatures to life. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, the cast includes Chris Hemsworth, Margot Robbie, Pedro Pascal, and Zendaya. The film is set for a July 10th, 2026 release in both IMAX and 3D formats worldwide. Industry analysts predict a monstrous opening weekend, anywhere between $150 million to $170 million domestically, with a global lifetime haul in the range of $800 million to $1 billion, thanks to heavy demand in the US, Europe, and China. Friends, The Insect is not just another horror thriller. It's a cinematic experience that will make you question, if another species took over our planet, would humanity truly survive? And that's exactly why it's being hailed as one of the biggest sci-fi horror films of 2026. So if you're waiting for this one, mark July 10th on your calendar right now. Because on that day, theaters will deliver a dose of fear, thrill, and adventure that you'll remember for the rest of your life.